he's done.
And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday. It's March 28th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody. It's a Monday morning, and we welcome you to our program, and we want to talk about Absolute Kubota, of course, as we do each Monday when we get started here. We've got T.R. Kirby here to talk about the place where he works and loves, no doubt. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Coleman?
I'm fine, and you love those Kubota tractors, too.
Yes, sir, we do.
How's your weekend?
It's good. A little sun out. Got some yard work done, and got to just enjoy the weather. I'm looking forward to even warmer weather coming up.
Yeah. Well, of course, we talk about Kubota tractors, Kubota hay equipment, those zero-turn mowers and RTVs. It all has the Kubota name on it, and you have a few other items that are not actually got Kubota stamped on them. Let's see, Land Pride, I believe, is one of them.
Correct. Land Pride is a subsidiary of Kubota Tractor Corporation. They fall under the Great Plains manufacturing. Most people around here know them as Land Pride. It's kind of Kubota's owned attachment brand, and they produce anything from a simple 4-foot tiller all the way up to a 20-foot bush hog and everything in between there.
A 20-foot bush hog.
Correct. Or a rotary cutter.
All right. Well, actually, bush hog is a brand.
Correct.
Like people used to always call their refrigerators a Frigidaire. There were a few other kinds, too.
Yes, sir.
There's some other kinds of bush hogs.
Yeah, it's a rotary cutter.
All right.
But they make those in all range and sizes, and they definitely get the competition. They run for their money.
Right. What else you got?
We have Red Max. It's our 2-stroke lineup. Anything from a simple hedge trimmer, small backpack blower, all up to the big commercial blowers. We sell Billy Goat as well, and they make even ride-on blowers as well. We carry a premium line of spreaders to spread fertilizer and seed and salt even. That's a Spiker. And then we also sell X-Mark and Hustler. Those are our other 2 premium lines of mowers, as well as Kubota zero turns. I always say if you favor horsepower, go with a Hustler. If you favor cut quality, go with the X-Mark. And then if you're making tall grass short and want to do it in style, go with a Kubota.
So you got a place for each one of them.
You do, yes, sir.
Which one you sell the most of?
It's really right now it's what we can get a hold of. We've got plenty of models of everything right now. If you're looking for a particular size, come in, see what we have. Certainly still some back there in the crates we can choose from and have put together for you so you can test drive, and they have 0% financing on them.
Well, the thing about it is, as I won't say they've been scarce, but sometimes they have been a little bit hard to get. And if there's something you see there that you like, you better get it now, because somebody else may grab it before you get back. Correct.
Yes, sir. We tell people, we're not trying to make them buy it right now or anything. We just know the inventory situation. I get updates all the time about it, and I'm well aware of what we've got coming in. What can we expect within the next 3 months? And that there is possibly another price increase for the year. So if you're thinking about purchasing something, I would go ahead and start considering it. It might not be the perfect time, but it might make sense just because of the pricing.
Well, our car dealers that advertise with us, they kind of say the same thing. If you see something you like, you better get it, because you come back, there's a good chance it'll be gone.
Correct. It'll be gone, or it can incur a price increase.
Yeah. Well, but okay, both. Well, especially with the way we've been talking about inflation here lately.
Yes, sir.
So, well, another thing that you do a lot of service work, and a lot of, I guess, repair work too. There are things that break down, even though they've got a great warranty. there's going to be a breakdown every now and then, and probably the less of them you're going to have is the better you take care of, the better maintenance you do.
Correct. Preventative maintenance is a big part of our business there. We try to keep anything from your weed eater running good all the way up to your 140 horsepower tractor and hay baler. We kind of try to keep everything operating efficiently so you don't have those costly breakdowns. And Kubota backs those up good with good warranties.
TR, I don't mention your website very often, but so many people are not only internet savvy, they depend on the internet, go there first a lot, and that is www.absolutekubota.com. Pretty simple. The name of your business.com, really, absolutekubota.com. And what all's on that website? Just about everything?
Just about our product portfolio there. You can even look up parts for your unit and call us with the parts numbers, and we can look you up and tell them if we got them in stock, if we have to order them, and then how much they cost. You can also text our phone number, 615-449-6171. Just shoot that to text, and we can get you to the right department, and they'll either give you a call or text you back.
Okay, your hours again?
Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, Saturday, 8 to 12.
All right, Absolute Kubota, located right here in Lebanon, Tennessee at 1506 West Main. And T.R. Kirby, thanks so much for being with us. You coming back next month, or will it be somebody else?
I believe it will be Don coming back.
All right. Well, we'll see you probably in May then.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, T.R. Kirby, and that's it for Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main here in Lebanon. Kubota tractors, Kubota hay equipment, Kubota zero-turn mowers, and those Kubota RTVs. Well, we're 10 minutes after the hour, and I'm going to the telephone this morning, and State Representative Susan Lynn is my guest. And Representative Lynn, are you there? And if so, good morning.
Hi, Coleman. Yes, I am here. Sorry I could not be in the studio this morning. There's another radio station in Nashville. They asked me to come on down, and so I just couldn't make it out to Lebanon quickly enough to make it to your radio show.
Well, we're glad to have you on alternate weeks here, alternate Mondays, you and Representative Boyd, and I guess we can kind of get into what's going on. Anytime I think that legislature's in session and you have to be there for sessions, for committee meetings and the things that you do, it's a busy time. Just how busy have you been?
Oh, we have been extremely busy. Sometimes getting out of committee at as late as 6:30 at night, and that'll even get later as we draw towards the end of session.
Well, I do have your Week 11 recap, and I don't know if that's where you want to begin, but I could ask you about the Republicans limiting the big tech censorship of social media users.
Sure. Yes, I'm very happy about this bill. I actually had a similar bill filed, but I thought this bill was actually better. Representative Dennis Powers, he's chairman of the banking subcommittee. He filed this bill, and what it would do, it's meant to protect Tennesseans' freedom of speech on social media. And it would prohibit a social media platform from intentionally banning a user for certain reasons, including political ideology, viewpoint discrimination, or personal animosity. I joke that my husband is banned on Facebook all the time. I think those censors have personal animosity towards my husband. I'm not sure. It seems that way. He'll just post an article from the Wall Street Journal, and they will ban him. And he really doesn't even make any commentary. They will just ban him for a week or a few days. He calls it Facebook jail. I think we've all heard about that. But if found, they will be regulated by the Tennessee Public Utility Commission. And if the operator is found to have wrongly banned a user, the commission could fine the social media company anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000. So it really does have some teeth in it. And I hope all of this nonsense will stop. And of course, we'll still be able to, regulate obscene and lewd or excessively violent or harassing behavior, but they shouldn't ban people, just for posting an article or something like that.
Well, hopefully that's a move in the right direction here. And it all, I guess, really comes under the heading of freedom of speech.
It really does. And there were some folks I visited with last week, and there were a couple there who didn't really like the idea of this bill. And actually, there was a student there, and she said, well, aren't they just mainly banning people who dispel misinformation? And, I said, well, from what I've seen, it doesn't really seem so. My husband's posting articles from the Wall Street Journal or the New York Post, and he even posted the one article on Hunter Biden from the New York Times, and he was shadow banned. So, but not from what I've seen. And if you think about it, we all have cell phones. You're on Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint or whatever. Can you imagine if you were driving around and you said something that Verizon or Sprint or T-Mobile was opposed to politically or anything else, and they just cut you off? They just cut off your phone, and then if you tried to call anyone else, well, sure, it would ring in on your end, but the person on the other end, they would not be receiving your call. That's really a lot of what is going on, and I hope that we can put an end to it. So we'll see what happens with the bill.
All right, State Representative Susan Lynn, my guest this morning. We'll take a break right here and talk more in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Bates Ford, and they've got a battery installed on most vehicles, $134.95. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase. 24 coming in from the Jolton area. I'm still looking at this truck laying on its side in Rutherford County. It's 24 westbound at Sam Ridley. Again, you're able to get around it here, leaving Rutherford County headed towards Nashville. It's just extra slow. PensacolaBeach.com has everything you need to book your next getaway. Check it out today. PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's time for a change in Wilson County. I'm Philip Warren, and I'm running for county mayor to provide a fresh perspective, proactive ideas, and lead with integrity. Wilson County is a growing county that needs someone with experience who can provide visionary growth and develop a plan that encompasses all government services to tackle our infrastructure issues. I'm excited to provide that leadership to make Wilson County's future brighter and better than what we have today. Proven Republican, proven leadership. I'm Philip Warren, and I approve this message.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $1,200 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Visit Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main Street in Lebanon.
I'm not running.
Coleman and Company, we thank you for joining us, and our thanks to State Representative Susan Lynn for being with us this morning. Now, you've got another thing you want to tell us about today.
I do. I have a bill. It should be in the Health Committee on Wednesday, or will be on the Health Committee on Wednesday, and it should pass on the Senate floor either tonight or on Wednesday. And what it is, it's an Ivermectin bill, and it's meant to help people in Tennessee by making ivermectin more available. So the thing about ivermectin is it works early. You have to use it early in your sickness. A lot of people will tout some studies. Oh, it didn't work. Well, you know what? The people in those studies, many of them were actually already hospitalized, even on ventilators. The thing about ivermectin is you have to take it early, and it works in conjunction with zinc. It's kind of like the car, and it drives the zinc into the cell, and the zinc then kills the virus. Well, the way it would work is ivermectin would be available at the pharmacy counter, behind the counter. If you had COVID, you could go up to the pharmacist, and ask for the ivermectin. They're going to give you a short screening to see what other drugs you might be on that might have drug interactions. There's actually only 2 that have drug interactions. And they're going to ask your weight and whatnot, and then they'll give you a blister pack for a few days dose of ivermectin, which you can take early. You will also get an instructional sheet to advise you to also take zinc with it, so you might want to purchase that. And with another wave of COVID coming on, I really feel like this bill is very timely, and I think it will help a lot of people. There's a lot of support for the bill, very little non-support. In fact, there's 3 doctors on the health subcommittee, and they all voted for this bill, so I was very pleased about that.
All right, and I believe there's a Congress bill that we need to talk about this morning.
Oh, golly, tonight, I don't know if anyone's heard about this bill, but tonight the House is set to vote on a bill that would say anyone running for Congress has to live in the state for 3 years. Prior to running. Now, that is the case for if you're running for state house or state senate. You have to live in the state for 3 years, the county for 1 year, and if elected, you have to live in the district. So that's the rules for the state offices. Well, we're going to pass that for anybody who would want to represent us in U.S. Congress. It kind of feels like aliens have come in from all over the country, and everybody wants to run for 5th District Congress. And it just doesn't seem right. And who knows? Maybe the voters wouldn't vote that way. But if you think about it, what if let's replace a citizen with an illegal alien? If an illegal alien could just show up in Tennessee and file to run for office due to a loophole in the law, we would want to do something about that, and we'd want to do something about that right away. So that's what this bill aims to do, so that Tennesseans are represented by a Tennessean who knows the people, who has a heart for the people, has already put in service in the community. We will be able to look at all their resumes and see, who we want to represent us in the U.S. Congress. But it's a very, very important position, and we just want to make sure that a true Tennessean is able to run for that office.
Okay, let me ask you one thing about that, and I think this has been discussed here on our program a little bit, that there are some people who might have announced before this legislation, of course, would go into effect, and that they feel like it is unfair to them, that it's sort of like changing horses in the middle of the stream. How you respond to that?
Well, for the U.S. congressional race, we're not past the filing deadline yet, so I don't feel bad about that at all. As the state legislature, we listen to our constituents, and we have the right to decide these matters. And this has actually never been done before, so it's something the legislature has never even had to think about before, because nobody was, nobody considered doing this before. It's actually pretty shocking if you think about it. Just look around the country and see where there's an open seat and move there and run. It's actually pretty shocking and pretty surprising. So I don't feel bad about it at all. I think that we need to protect Tennesseans. That's what we're about. I'm sorry if it hurts anybody's feelings. What can you do? Yeah. This is about us as Tennesseans.
Do you think it's got a good chance to pass?
Well, some members of the House do feel, as you just articulated, some members of the House do feel that way. But, I just go back to the illegal alien example. If there was some loophole in the law, we just hadn't thought about it before, an illegal alien came and filed to run for office in Tennessee, the legislature would do everything we could to stop that. Mm-hmm. We should be represented by a citizen of Tennessee.
All right, I'm going to bring up something else here. The House has passed an Israel anti-boycott legislation. Tell us about that, if you will.
Right. So the Tennessee General Assembly through the years has expressed firm support for Israel. And what we're seeing more and more is companies acting very politically. And they have decided, some companies have decided, that they are going to cease doing business with Israel, which is very surprising because they have, some of the best healthcare research in the whole world. Very surprising, but they have decided they're going to stop doing business with Israel. So, as a matter of policy, what the Tennessee General Assembly passed is we would prohibit the state from entering into a contract with a company unless the agreement includes written certification that the company is not and will not be engaged in a boycott of Israel. And, we certainly support the federal government's direction where they say, you can't do business with certain terrorist countries, all of that. We absolutely support that. But Israel is not a terrorist country. It's a tiny little country in the middle of a very hostile environment, and they have survived very well so far. But when companies start deciding to get politically involved and boycotting a country, it can sure put the economic squeeze on them, as we're seeing happen with Russia and Ukraine and all of that. We are being squeezed. Europe is being squeezed as our governments try to squeeze Russia. All of that is going on right now, and we can all see how much that really hurts.
All right, I don't want to dwell on the next thing I'm going to mention here, other than to mention it because we've talked about it probably before with you. I know we have with Representative Borden, with Senator Bodie, but a bill to make it easier to report road hazards and settle claims, and this has to do with potholes, etc.
Yes, that is a good bill. We found that citizens don't largely know how to report that they've sustained damage due to a road hazard. And in fact, last year, only 12 settlements were reached for citizens who sustained damage because Tennessee's roads were in disrepair. So we're going to make it easier for citizens to know about that and make it easier for them to file for compensation when their car has been damaged due to a pothole. We've all been hitting those big potholes in the highway and all. We're going to make it easier for people to file to get relief for that.
Okay. Well, I know sometimes when I travel outside the state, when I come back, I appreciate our roads. So this is not a big knock on our roads. It's just a problem that we've had here that we're going to make it a little bit easier to get some things settled. Now, let me ask you about the education bill and the change that has to do with the funding of schools. And I understand the governor's supposed to. He submitted his budget back in late January, I guess, and I think there's supposed to be some revision to come, maybe even this week, and then this will be worked on. What do you expect to happen?
Well, the bill is going in the House to the House Education Administration Committee this week, March 30th. It'll be there, and they continue to work on the bill. Well, our Education Committee is thorough, and they really do a good job. But among the amendments is an amendment that changes the weighted funding component for charter schools to a direct funding line. I'm not sure what the thinking is behind that, but the plan directs the focus on students with disabilities, students in rural and urban areas, and low-income families. So it provides a base funding and then additional funding for those different criteria. If your student has one or all of those, your school district will receive more funding to help educate your student.
Well, it's going to pass in some form, right?
I do believe it will pass in some form. So the Education Committee, like I said, they're very thorough. They really take their time. At some point, it will come to the Finance Committee, and we will study very hard what Education did to the bill and see how we like it.
Well, you had some visits to the Capitol last week or two, since you've been here at least. I think some people in leadership paid a visit to you. You might want to comment on that.
We did. We had Leadership Wilson visit us, and the students were there, and the adults were there, and they had a big day. They were a big group, a really big group this year. And they had a wonderful photo op with the governor. He talked to them a bit, and I know that they had a full day. I could not spend the whole day with them because of committee work and all of that, but it was sure nice to see folks from Wilson County. It almost seems like folks, the further you are away from the Capitol, more likely you are to come spend the day. It seems like folks from right here rarely come to the Capitol and see us, so when they do, it is really a special day, and we're really happy to see them.
Well, I've got to ask you your opinion on how much longer you're going to be there. About what time in the future here in the next few weeks you think you're going to shut down and be through?
Well, it is almost April, isn't it? It is almost April, so I'm thinking probably around the end of April. One member of leadership told me he thinks we're going to head into May. I'm not sure. I am not sure, but I'm thinking hopefully around the end of April.
Well, what could possibly drag it out into May or middle of May or something?
Well, the committees are still open. A lot of the subcommittees have closed, but the full committees are still open. A lot of those bills have to come to Finance Committee. Finance Committee is really the last committee that you're going to go through before going to the floor for a vote. And that's because we have to examine the bill for its financial impact and other matters. So, Finance is a very heavy lifting committee. We have long meetings, and the deeper we get into session, the longer our meetings get.
Okay.
Time we spend down there.
All right. That would explain that. Thanks for being with us today. We'll look forward to your visit in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right. State Representative Susan Lynn, and that's part one of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadway. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day, servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're still trying to clean up this truck crash out here. It remains on its side. 24 westbound is Sam Ridley Parkway. You're able to get through here. It's just people are slowing down the rubberneck, and it's already heavy and slow through here as it is, leaving Rutherford County, headed towards Nashville. Here on 24 westbound is Sam Ridley on this crash. They were dodging some debris 65 southbound at Dickerson Pike just a few minutes ago. Watching it be on I-40 coming in from Hickman County through Dixon County. Watch your speed. PensacolaBeach.com's got everything you need to book your next getaway. Log on today, PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to RockyWilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to RockyWilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
To kick off the work week, skies will be partly cloudy with highs in the low 70s. On Tuesday, temperatures reach the upper 70s with a mix of sun and clouds. Rain moves in by the second half of Wednesday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
All right, I was in Coleman and Company. Thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning. Billy Mullinax is here. That means it's time to talk about Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, now if we look at the calendar, you and I always talk about when the end of the automotive month is, towards the end of the month.
Yes, and it's Thursday.
It's
actually on the end of the
month. All right. Y'all getting more in line with the regular calendar, I believe.
It just varies. We don't set it, of course, the manufacturers do. And we just follow suit with what they call the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, but it is this Thursday, so that means all this week, especially Wednesday and Thursday, your trade-in might be worth just a little more.
Might be worth a little bit more than it was 2 weeks ago.
All right, we've got to mention your location, which we probably don't do enough, but 600 Pleasant Grove, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. How long you been there?
Been there for a little over 5 years.
5
We
years.
opened February of 17.
And on the easy side of
On
Mount
the
Juliet.
easy side of the interstate. That's right.
Well,
That's
Billy,
right.
of course, is a general manager. Rocky Williams is the car dealership bears his name, and
Yep.
but the two of you have formed a great team over these years. Now, it's been longer than 5 years. You were in here in Lebanon for a good while.
Yeah, I've been there, Coleman, for about 10 years now, and it's been a wonderful 10 years. It's when everybody pays the same great low price, Coleman, it makes it easy. You don't have a lot of the negotiating, the ugly stuff that goes along with selling cars and buying cars.
Yeah, well, that's what we preach, quote unquote, every Monday here.
Yep.
No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price, and you price your cars and not your customers. And of course, we've got to always mention that the entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars can be seen at RockyWilliams.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
We got that in again.
We got it in again. Mayor Hutto would let us know. If we ever miss, he always lets me know.
Oh,
he
no
said you
doubt.
forgot your neighbor.
I don't think we've ever missed.
I
We've
think
been reminded.
We may have one time, Coleman, and one time in 10 years. That's probably not too bad.
Well, let's talk about your inventory a little bit. You've got I won't say you've got plenty, but you've got an adequate number of cars, I guess. That's about the same thing.
Well,
Plenty
that's right.
adequate.
Coleman, new inventory is still very slim, of course, but we do have over 200 pre-owned vehicles. As we've ramped up our used cars, and a lot of those are less than a year old and under 10,000 miles. So we've tried to compensate a little bit for the new vehicles that we're just not able to get right now.
Yeah. Well, again, you can find all of this information at the website, and we probably can't say this enough. Most people go there, and you don't have to leave any information. You just go there and see what's available, and then you can follow up. If you want to ask questions, I guess you have an opportunity even on the internet, don't you?
Coleman, there is a way to send in to request information
Okay.
on there. But the great thing about what we do, our no haggle price is right there, clearly posted. You don't have to submit your information to get that price like you're having to do on so many websites now. It'll say, under price, it'll have MSRP, then it'll say click for today's price or click for your e-price. And we just like to be very transparent, make it easy for people to shop. And then on new vehicles, the rebates that we include, Coleman, are the ones that everybody qualifies for in the Southeast Business Center. A lot of dealerships now are including rebates that you may not even qualify for. It may be that you have to finance with a certain bank, or that you may have to have a certain credit score, or you may have to be member of some group. And Coleman, that's to me is just a little bit deceptive. And then when you get there, they start taking away rebates and say, well, now you didn't see this little fine print down here that says you may not qualify for this. But we only use rebates that everybody in the Southeast Business Center would qualify for. If you qualify for more, we're going to get them for you.
Well, here again, above board and totally transparent.
Yep.
Well, hopefully you'll have a good end of the month. I hope March has been a pretty good month.
It's been a great month, Coleman. Been a great
right.
month.
Well, service after the sale, that's important, and you've got that too.
We've got a great service department, and Coleman, we've got an express lane for oil changes. For light duty gas vehicles, there's no appointment necessary. It's first come, first served basis, but you just don't have to make an appointment. You can show up and we'll get you in line.
All right. Well, have a great week, great end of the month, and we'll see you next month.
All right. Thank you.
Billy Mullinax, he's general manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. We're about 21 minutes before the hour, and today we start a series of programs featuring candidates, countywide candidates who are going to be on the May 3rd ballot. And this morning, we are starting with the Circuit Court Clerk office, and Kenneth Hackett is with us today, and we're going to talk about his candidacy for that office. And let me say good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Coleman.
I'm going to give you an opportunity here, sort of an opening statement type thing. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and any family connections or anything about you that you think the people would like to know. We'll start off there today.
Okay, I was born in Wilson County, the son of the late Oplis Hackett and Mary Sue Pope of Smith County. My father passed when I was 2, so my family moved to Smith County, where I was raised, went to high school. In 1989, I joined the Highway Patrol and was assigned to Wilson County by first choice. And that's where I met my wife. She worked at the Circuit Court Clerk's office at that time. So I married Laura Major, the daughter of Alan and Renee Major of Norring. We have 2 boys, both in Watertown High School. Will's a senior and Logan is a freshman. And we are members of Hillcrest Baptist Church, where I've been there for 27 years. And October the 15th, I retired actually from the Highway Patrol after 33 years. And 3 days later, I announced I was running for office.
Why are you running for office? Why do you want to be the Circuit Court Clerk?
Well, I always loved being a public servant. I really enjoyed it, helping the people. And even though I retired after 33 years, I felt I wasn't through with being a public servant. And I thought that running for office would be my next best step.
Many times there's just an office maybe that somebody's, I would just love to have that office. Other times you may feel that there's some things going on that you would like to change, and then what about that? Are there changes that you feel need to be made in that office?
There's a few changes. I mean, nothing just drastic. My observance of being up there, you would have people come into court, they pass through security, and they wouldn't be able to tell where they had to go to court, which courtroom, if they were on the docket, at what time they were on the docket. And I kind of envision having a monitor system or a system they can go to and put their name in to see which courtroom they're in, if they're actually on the docket. That frees up the clerks from having to research to see if they're at the right place at the right time. I'd also like to cross-train the employees. I think that's pretty important, that you have somebody that can fill in somebody else's spot in case they are on extended leave for some period of time. And I mean, that's 2 of the major changes I'd like to see.
Are you basically familiar with the office, and has been being a highway patrolman helped you be more aware of some of the things that go on that the clerk is responsible for, and so on?
Yes, sir. I've been in and out of that court, all the courts, for over 30 years, so I've got a good general knowledge of what goes on up there. Yes, sir.
Well, as far as personnel is concerned, are you fairly familiar with the people? There are a number of employees in the Circuit Court Clerk's office. That person is responsible for a number of people who are there.
I think there's about 35 employees. I know most of the ones in the Sessions office, some in the criminal, not so much as the Circuit. I didn't go over there that much. I didn't have the occasion to do that, but I'm quite familiar with several of them.
Are there changes there that you necessarily want to make, or are you fairly happy with the personnel?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with what's there now. Of course, I would like to review everybody's files and see what they're where they're at there and how long they've been there, and just kind of go over that. But I'm pretty comfortable with who's there now.
This is a 4-year term.
Yes, sir.
And are you familiar enough to talk about whether it's adequately staffed? Do you think you can do the job with what's there, or we are a growing county and a lot of offices are hiring more people from time to time? What do you envision for that, say, for the next 4 years?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. I do know the cases have increased up there. Of course, with the population growth, you're going to have increased cases in the system. A lot of the things are done electronically now, which, is a lot easier and doesn't require as many people. But I would definitely take a look at that. And I think right now they're in pretty good standing with personnel.
Okay, it is time for us to take a break. Kenneth Hackett is with us this morning. He's a candidate for Circuit Court Clerk, and this, of course, is in the Republican primary that is coming up on May the 3rd. We'll talk more after this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:43. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Cleanup continues on this 18-wheeler crash out here in Rutherford County. That's what we're looking at live right now. Again, here on 24 westbound, it's Sam Ridley. You're able to get down the interstate here, but people are just slowing down the rubberneck big time. Actually, it's a pretty good backup on 24 westbound trying to make your way past Sam Ridley. It's flooded. A lot of traffic over on the 840 this morning into Williamson County. A lot of people are using that route to try to get to Nashville. PensacolaBeach.com has everything you need to book your next getaway. Log on today, PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's time for a change in Wilson County. I'm Philip Warren, and I'm running for county mayor to provide a fresh perspective, proactive ideas, and lead with integrity. Wilson County is a growing county that needs someone with experience who can provide visionary growth and develop a plan that encompasses all government services to tackle our infrastructure issues. I'm excited to provide that leadership to make Wilson County's future brighter and better than what we have today. Proven Republican, proven leadership. I'm Philip Warren, and I approve this message.
The Cumberland baseball team has become an offensive powerhouse. The Phoenix currently sit 5th in the nation in home runs and have 6 starters hitting over a whopping .355. That'll all be put to the test this weekend with the Mid-South Conference Showdown with 22nd ranked Freed Hardeman Lions for first place in the Mid-South Conference. First game Friday at 2, doubleheader Saturday at 12. You can hear all the action on either WANT-FM 98.9, WCOR AM 1490, WANTFM.com, or GoCrumlinAthletics.com. Go Phoenix!
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Monday morning. Kenneth Hackett is my guest. He's candidate for Circuit Court Clerk, Republican primary on May the 3rd. I want to talk about your campaign a little bit here. I joked with you during the break here that you're kind of finding out maybe how big Wilson County is, especially if you're traveling all over.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to cover all ends of the county, and I worked the east end of the county pretty hard at first, and now I'm out in the Mount Juliet area, been down in Glayville, trying to meet people and put out signs and talk to as many people as I can, but it is a very large county.
Well, you get a reception when you get out here and meet people. How's your reception been so far?
I think pretty good. Some people want to see change, and some people are just interested in my story and want to know why I'm running. But I feel really good about the people I talk to. I get a good reception.
Well, I think this is your first venture into the political realm.
Yes, sir.
You've never run for office before.
Correct.
So is there quite a learning curve here?
There kind of is. Of course, when you first step into it, you get a lot of advice from a lot of different people, try to figure out what you need to do, and some of it you take, some of it you don't. But it's been interesting, and I'm still learning every day about things I need to be trying to do and to get out there and meet people. But yes, it's a lot to it.
Well, are you able to pretty much, you have retired from highway patrol? You mentioned that earlier.
Yes, sir.
Is there other things that you're doing, or is this campaigning pretty much your occupation right now?
It's pretty much it right now. I've had a few side businesses in the past. A lot of people might remember me from, I had a booth at the fair for 10 years selling roasted corn, so a lot of people remember me from that. But right now, this is kind of taking up all my time.
Well, What kind of circuit court clerk are you going to be? You've talked about the office a little bit. I mean, I think every office has its own personality, and a lot of an office there's a lot of reflection from the leadership at the top.
I'm kind of a person who likes to have a fun work atmosphere. I think that's pretty important. I think it's a serious job, but at the same time, you want your employees to enjoy being there and enjoy working for you. I'm all about getting the job done, and being serious about that. But I just envision a work atmosphere that's lighthearted and fun.
Well, we were talking about, I think I alluded to at least, that there's several different facets, divisions, or whatever, different parts of the circuit court. I mean, there's a lot of time that's spent in the courtroom. There are fines, I think, that are collected there. Talk about all the different, I'm sure you know pretty much the different things that are required off the clerk and the responsibilities of the office.
Right. Well, there's several different courts. You have general sessions 1, 2, and 3, and you have a circuit court 1, circuit court 2, circuit criminal court. And so you have different judges doing all different types of courts. You got traffic courts, you got criminal courts, you got juvenile court.
Well, now, do you have does that office require a member of the staff to be in those courts when they're in session?
Each judge has the clerks in there with them. They have personnel they use a lot to keep in there, certain ones they're comfortable with, and yes, sir, they always have a clerk with them.
Well, this brings me, I'm interrupting a little bit here, but what I would think that a good circuit court clerk is going to have a fairly good relationship and working relationship, especially with those judges that they're responsible for having somebody in the courtroom.
Right. One of the first things I'll do is sit down with each judge and make sure that they are content with the personnel that they have clerking their courts. I think that's the most important thing for me to do right off the bat, because I want them to be happy. If they're not, we'll replace them with somebody they are happy with. But from what I'm hearing, that most of them is pretty comfortable with the ones they got.
What other things are involved with this office? Did you cover all that?
Pretty much. I mean, they basically collect fines and fees and disperse those. They child support payments. They take in a lot of different monies for different reasons, and they get those dispersed to the appropriate people.
Well, it must be one of the, maybe, I'm guessing here, but maybe it and the county clerk's office are two that have more branches, responsibilities, that they're kind of spread out and cover a lot of territory.
Yes, sir. They are a very diverse office. They have a lot of things they're responsible for.
But you're wanting that office?
Well, I guess so. Yes, sir.
What I don't know if you may have entertained some questions when people that you've been campaigning with about maybe some confusion or some maybe not a real knowledge of what's happening here with this primary election. I'm sure you know all about it by now.
Well, yes, sir. I mean, the biggest problem and I'm talking to other candidates, the biggest problem everybody sees right now is getting turnout on May 3rd, because so many people are confused about the election date. So we have chosen to put signs on top of our campaign signs. It says vote May 3, just to kind of get the message out there. But people are not understanding. But I know more literature has been put out by the Election Commission and the chambers. They're getting the word out that there is a change this year.
Well, it's just the fact that it's changed. And I know we did have the primary 2 years ago. It coincided with the presidential primary, but at that time there was only 1 or 2 county offices. It wasn't a big election at all. Nearly everybody's on this. There's a lot that's not where they're not contested, but this is a big election.
Right.
And your office is one of those where the office you're seeking is one of those that does have opposition, and a lot of people are looking at it, and the others where there is opposition.
Right. In my case here, I'm running against the incumbent. We are both running on a Republican ticket. I think people need to understand that after May 3rd, every who wins the primary will be the only person on the ticket on August 4th.
So really, whoever wins this primary is most likely going to be, I mean, there could be a write-in campaign, but that would be far. We've never had one like that.
Right.
I know why. So whoever this is the one.
It pretty much is, yes, sir.
Well, what are your plans from here on out? I mean, work harder, work smarter.
I've got a lot of area to still cover. I'm gonna work a little harder. I'm gonna be standing on the roadsides, holding up signs and waving, and meeting as many people as I can. Early voting, I'll be at voting stations and meeting people there, or not meeting them, but standing there and trying to be seen and get the message out. But there's a lot to do.
You got your family involved in this?
Yes, sir. My wife's my biggest supporter. Took her a little while to get her on board, but when she did it, she said, if we're going to be in it, we're going to be in it to win it. So she's my biggest supporter.
Well, now you said a little bit difficult getting started. Are you suggesting she didn't want you to run?
I have to say, when I first come up with the idea, she wasn't too much for it. So I just kind of let it lay for a while, and I'd bring it up every now and then, and she finally come around.
Well, to be fair with you here, again, why are you really seeking this office? You mentioned you've been a highway patrolman, you enjoy public service, but you could maybe have chosen some other offices.
Right, but this is the one I'm most familiar with. Like I said, I know several of the people up there, and I enjoy working with them, and I get to be around the officers that come in, and the people who I work with for 30 plus years. And so I'm most comfortable with this office.
Do you envision much change in the way things are done? Not necessarily the way you operate, but I mean the circuit court clerk office as it is for the next 4 years, and maybe the next 8 years. If you got elected, got reelected, you might be there for the next 8 years or so. What?
I mean, everything nowadays is going to electronic filings and stuff. I see more, things being done electronically, and that's about the only thing that can change a lot. You're still going to have your courts, and you're still going to have, your cases coming in. So I don't see a lot happening there, but just more electronic filings.
I think that most all of us who pay attention to county offices and to the county coffers and to the money that's spent is concerned about the cost of government. And I'm just wondering, again, as far as operation of this office, and of course we got inflation that's with us a little bit now. What do you foresee there? Can you handle things pretty much as they are? You anticipate having to ask for more money?
Well, they're a fee office, and I think they're in pretty good shape on money coming in there. They draw their salaries from fees that come in, so I don't see a huge issue with that there.
You know of any legislative changes, maybe anything that the state would be working on to change any of this?
I'm not familiar with any changes coming in the near future, no, sir.
Anything else that you want to mention this morning? I'm going to give you an opportunity to wrap things up. We've got a couple of more minutes before we get there. Other things that you think are issues in this particular campaign? Is it just a popularity contest? It's got to be a little more than that, hasn't it?
Well, it pretty much is. It's a lot of it's name recognition. It pretty much is the popularity contest, and it's just about getting out there and meeting people. And I've been around a long time in this county. I know quite a few people, but there's still a lot I don't know. A lot of people coming in from other states. We all know that. And I'm trying to meet as many of those as I can and see if we can get them out to vote and get registered and vote.
So you're pretty much out on the road every day?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you mentioned starting in the east and heading to the west, you are probably in more unfamiliar territory the farther you go west.
I kind of am. When I worked, I was a supervisor for 19 years over here, so that required a lot of office duties. So I stayed in Lebanon most of my time, but there were a lot of occasions I'd be in the Mount Juliet area. But it's such a big area, and but I've got a lot of places to go there.
And you do find out how much bigger the county is than you thought.
Yes, sir. There's a lot of new subdivisions coming all over this county, and it's a lot.
Do you? You can't. There's no way you can meet everybody. What have you mostly been doing to you go to shopping centers? I mean, do you actually knock on doors? How you been doing? Not to reveal any secrets.
Right. No. Well, there's probably around 155, 60,000 people in this county, so it'd be kind of impossible to go door to door. But I've been going to businesses and barbershops and restaurants and meeting as many people as I can that way. And I plan on doing more of that in some areas of large concentration of people and meeting them that way.
Yeah, and really, we're about to be in April here.
Yes, sir.
Friday, and then May the 3rd is just a little over a month away. So you've still got several weeks of hard work here, no doubt.
Yes, sir. I got a lot more to do. I'm just getting started.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you the last couple of minutes here. It's about a minute and a half left. If you will, just summarize your campaign. Kenneth Hackett, running for Circuit Court Clerk.
Well, again, I am running on a Republican ticket, and I think most people are like me. They hear a new candidate come along, and they wonder, are they going to do what they say? Are they a man of the word or woman of the word? And I come up with one word that I think would best describe my candidacy, and that word is proven. I think I've proven over the past 3 decades, 33 years in this county, which I was the longest serving state trooper in this county in Highway Patrol history. In 93 years, I've been here longer than anybody. But I think in that time that I have proven that I'm committed to public service. I think I'm proven that I'm honest. I think I'm proven that I'm fair. I think I'm proven I am a leader. I'm proven that I care about the citizens. I'm proven I've got good character and a person of integrity. And I think that's traits that every elected official and every public servant should have. And that's what I plan on carrying to the Circuit Court Clerk's office.
And you're wanting everybody to vote for you on Thursday, May the 3rd.
Yes, sir, and I'm asking for everyone to vote. I greatly appreciate it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here with us and sharing your views this morning. And I will remind you, we're planning to do election coverage that evening, so we'll welcome you to come then, win, lose, or draw.
Yes, sir, I'll be glad to.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Monday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Tuesday edition. And until then, I wish you a magnificent day.